Hello, everyone. I'm Danny. Today, I wanted to talk a little bit about anger and how it plays a role in my coping mechanism, and kind of go into a little detail, some information about it. Now, anger is like a fight or flight response. It's a natural emotion. It's a primal emotion, kind of down to the basic core of everything. However, what I've learned over the last couple years is that anger was my way of coping in order to get through some really hard stuff. Because if I was angry, then I had enough motivation to get through it. Or if I, got angry enough, then the people would leave me alone and stop hurting me and things like that. But anger is so I got this from my therapist, the anger iceberg. And now, if you see anger as your primary, the emotion that comes out first, I guess is what you could say. And what I've been working on is recognizing what's underneath. What's the real emotion that's going on? Am I hurt because I was embarrassed? Am I hurt because my friend wasn't nice to me? Am I overwhelmed because I have too much on my plate? Am I embarrassed at something? I made a mistake and I got embarrassed. Or, I felt disrespected or I had shame going on inside and it came out as anger. So, one of the ways that I have really learned to be aware of the real emotion, first I have to get calmed down. I have to, get to a point where I, my brain can function. And so I do some techniques to do that. Get a little bit calmed down. Breathing is a big one. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Get the oxygen back up to your brain. Get the blood flowing. And then I have to just take a little bit of time and ask myself personally, hey, what's really going on? Why am I angry? What is really causing me to be on edge, to be irritated, to be mad? Is it just out of instinct because something didn't go my way? Or is it because, I'm really feeling sad and I'm scared to feel sad? So just digging deep within inside myself and being honest with myself is the best way to kind of get under those emotions. And since I've been doing that, I don't have the angry outbursts. I don't have the uncontrollable, just you can't get your mind off of whatever happened. You and your friend didn't agree on something, or you didn't get the promotion, or whatever it was. And just like honing in and recognizing what's really there. So instead of blowing up, I take a time out, basically is what I'm doing. Is, I need a timeout from life. I need a timeout for a little bit to get myself together. I am human. I've been through some stuff, and I need to take time. Instead of reacting, I want to respond. And in order to respond, I need to be in control of myself. And in order to be in control of myself, I have to really know what's going on with me. Now, with all these emotions, we have the primary emotions. There's like 7 of them, but beyond that, there's a combination of emotions, and you're allowed to feel more than one thing at once. You can be fearful and sad, or disappointed and shameful. You can feel embarrassed and overwhelmed at the same time. So there's a lot of different ones. So I want to show you this other one, this emotion wheel. These are all the different emotions that we can feel. That is a massive amount of emotion. So sometimes at first it can be a little bit complex, kind of deciding like what the real emotion is. So, just take a look. If you want to just take a look at it when you're first trying to recognize why you're angry, and you can, point out, okay, well, I'm feeling more, you know, more sadness, that relates to I feel vulnerable, and I don't like feeling vulnerable because then somebody might hurt me and that makes me afraid. So, you know, that's what the real issue is going on. So I encourage you, you know, just to be honest with yourself. Take a time out if you need to. You know, I know that sometimes it's hard to stop what you're doing and take a time out and you know, take 5 or 10 minutes to yourself. But you know, it's better than being angry all day and you know, like if you're at work and you're really upset about something, instead of continuing to be angry about it, ask if you can take a 5 or 10 minute break to kind of get yourself together, take a time out for you, and then work on yourself when you're on that break. You know, calm down, take some deep breaths, and talk to yourself. Say, hey, what's really going on here? And you don't have to announce it to everybody that, you know, you're feeling embarrassed because you didn't handle the situation as well as you thought you should handle the situation, or you're feeling shameful because you did something that kind of was against yourself and your code, or you felt like it was morally wrong or whatnot. Or you know, you're feeling grief, you're going through the grief stages, and you're just there, and just take the time to recognize those emotions, be real with yourself, allow yourself to feel those emotions. Once you allow yourself to feel the other emotions, at first it's a little bit scary, you know. I was not allowed to cry as a kid, and so as an adult, I thought it was weakness. You showed weakness if you cried. But I'm learning that it's okay. You know, I would rather cry now than get angry and do something I regret later. So if you need to, you know, take a few minutes and go cry it out, that's okay too. And sometimes when you first start recognizing these emotions, that's what I did, is I just cried. I was like, I can't believe that I'm really feeling this. I can't believe I'm really going through this. Oh my gosh. And then I was like, okay, well, I guess the tears are coming out, so my body obviously needs to cry. So I just need to take, you know, a few minutes here and cry. And then after you're done, you wash your face, you know, and then you go back to doing what you were doing after, you know, your time out, I guess, is a good term to say. And sometimes I say that to my kids. I'm like, mommy needs a time out for a minute. I'm not doing okay, and I just need to take some time for myself so I can get myself under control, or I'm not going to be able to handle the rest of the day. And to them, they understand that. And it's not a bad thing because I'm punishing myself. It's I'm taking time to get myself under control. And I want them to know that they can do that too, as children and as adults. But to be vocal about it, don't, you know, don't just storm off, because then that makes people concerned or worried or upset for whatever reason. You know, like if you're at work, or if you just kind of go hide and your kids are in the house and they're like, ah, where's mom? So just be vocal. Hey, I need a timeout. Please just give me a few minutes. I need to go get myself together. I'm having a really hard time right now. And that's all that you need to vocalize to other people, and then you work on yourself. You don't have to let people know the vulnerable parts, the parts that you aren't ready to talk about yet. But as long as you're being honest with yourself, your healing process begins. So if you want to know more about techniques that you can use to get through, whether you have depression, anxiety, PTSD, you're recovering from trauma, you're healing from the trauma, you're healing from abuse, then go ahead and subscribe to my channel. I'm going to have a lot more videos here soon. If you like my video, go ahead and like it. And if you have any comments or questions, then please feel free to ask and write them below. And I will do my best to get back to you as soon as I can. And I want to thank you for watching, and we'll see you on the next video.